Okay everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody here, and I am back with the very last installment to my craft room tour, and this is where I'm going to share with you what is on this very large shelving system that I have in my craft room. And this is where a lot of my storage happens. I have a lot of stuff in my room, as you can see if you watched the other two installments, but this is kind of the jumping off point of where my craft room started. So let me share. We're going to start at the right and go left. So this top shelf is where I display some finished layouts. Those are actually going to go to my sister, so they're sitting there until I give them to her. I also have a few things displayed in the back. Kaylin's little graduation cap, a wooden like sculpture, two little angels my mom made, and then a little red post box thing in the back is just a little tin that has some commemorative coins in it. These envelopes to the left store my photos that are ready to be scrapbook, and you have seen these if you've watched my channel. It has the photos on the inside, the plan for the pages to be done, and then inside I have like a layout if it's a project life layout. These are all the ephemera pieces to include. So these are different things like Kaylin's, well, there's just a whole bunch of stuff over here. These are all the different things that are supposed to go in my album. And as I get to those months, I sort through them and kind of see what is there and if I can include it in my album. So that is there. I mentioned this bag is like my bag where I keep hanging here with things that need to go out, whether it's cards that need to be sent, things that need to be given to a family member like my mom, or packages to be sent. This shelf is where I keep this white basket is all just home office stuff. I'm not going to go in there. Those are things I'm waiting on. There's books in there. There's just files in there, anything like that. It's kind of my catch-all bin for receipts and everything. It stays right there and it does not get any more full than that. I sort through it probably about once a month when I'm paying bills to see if there's anything in there I need to take out. This is my stamp storage. I have done a whole video on this, so if you would like to see it, go back to my channel and check it out. This is where I keep my masks, my dies, my embossing folders are in here, and then my stamps. And these are all sorted by manufacturer, and I have them in these Avery L pockets. The Felicity Jane ones came in pockets. That's why they look a little bit different, but everything else I have made, put labels on, and it is in here. Now I will say, in the back here, I kept the Stampin' Up ones in their little folders because I only have 2 of them, but I have large stamps back here where I made their own pockets out of old page protectors and did the same thing, labeled them, and they just sit back here in the back. What else? You can see it a little bit better. And then on the side here, I have a little container where I have some rotary stamps and some wooden stamps. I have large stamp blocks, and then I have large stamp sets here. I only have 2 that are too big to fit this direction. I have another one of those dividers in here, just like my Project Life storage. So that houses all of them. Down here, this is my fabric scrap storage, so it's just a bin with a bunch of fabric scraps. This one has a bunch of photo props. I used to do a lot of photo props in my Etsy pictures because I have an Etsy shop, and that's kind of where I keep that. And then this down here is Kaylin's section. It has a whole bunch of puzzles and then his art box. So that's his shelf. And there's a ton of Play-Doh. If you really pay attention to my carpet, you'll see there's a ton of Play-Doh in the carpet. That's one of his favorite things to do, is come pull out his Play-Doh and play in the room with me. Now we're going to go left and go up. Down here, because I have an Etsy shop, I have a ton of shipping supplies. So this whole shelf is dedicated to shipping supplies. This one, let me get down low here. This one, it's kind of dark, but I have my cuddle dog here. I have my sticker maker back there. I have my Cricut here, and then I have an old projector back there. I don't use the projector. I think we've only used it a few times, but we got a great deal on it, so I just keep it because you never know when I might need to project something on the wall and trace it or something like that. And then I have this little wooden crate that has all of my Cricut cartridges. I don't have any more than this, and it fits perfectly in here. keep all my Cricut cartridges right there. You know what I use my Cricut cartridges mostly for are fonts. And then I use some of these boy ones to make birthday cards and stuff. Okay, going up. These are the 4 albums that I have completed. I also have our wedding album right next to it, which is right here. I have a photo frame, just a frame with a photo in it. And then these are all, this is like my Etsy binder. This was our household binder that had like our insurance and all that stuff in it. And then these are all just different things. I have magazines in one. I have my Etsy order files in another. I have sewing patterns in another. Sorry, I could not think of the word. But I just have those magazine holders there. What's going to happen eventually is this whole shelf is going to be all albums. I'm going to be taking all those other things off and moving them somewhere. Not exactly sure yet. But I'm going to reorganize this once I get more albums and just have my albums on this shelf. Moving up to the next section, this is more scrapbook stuff here. These are these little plastic baskets, metal baskets with plastic lining in them that I got from Michael's. And the 4x6 iris photo boxes fit in here perfectly. And I have some on my desk right now, which is why they're not flush in here, but I have enough photo boxes that they fit in here pretty easily, but there's not a big gap. And so these are the color sorted ones. As you can see, purple, yellow, orange, white, pink, red, green. And this one has black and gray, sports. This one has more themed ones and company ones, because there's certain companies that I like to keep together, or certain manufacturers that I like to keep their products together. So black and gray, sports, LE Studio, extra tags, one little bird, and then this one are items that are a little bit too big, and those tend to be a lot of simple story items. These 2 plastic boxes are where I keep all of my washi. I keep all my black, white, gray, gold, silver in this front one, and then all the other colors are back here. I have like some random duct tape that my sister had, and she was just going to get rid of it, so I took it because I said, you know what, you never know when you might need some duct tape, and if it's free, why not? I'm kind of like that person. I'm not a hoarder, I swear, but I don't like things going to waste. I'll find a use for it. Then I have this photo box where I keep things in here to scrapbook. Like I have my nephew's birth announcement. I have his announcement from the church. I have airline tickets, the boarding passes. I have that here. I have, oh, that was from my nephew's first airplane trip. My sister gave me his boarding pass. I have photos from before 2013 that I want to scrapbook. These are just scrap papers back here in the back. But this is kind of my 2 scrapbook thing. This is where we stayed on our honeymoon. So I have that. That's funny. That's in here. I have that. And then at the back, I just have my label maker and ink for my printer. My label maker cartridges and my ink for my printer. Next shelf. I'm not going to take the things off here, but you can see I love the way this looks. I have all my curling ribbons lined up, my 3 giant things of twine. I have pink, red, and blue in the back. I use these all the time. I use these for packaging my Etsy orders too. I have a big thing of buttons, which actually I could probably take some of my overflow buttons and put it in here since it's not so full anymore. My extra ribbon scraps, and then just some extra strings and twines and stuff. The top has stuff for my Etsy shop, so I'm not going to take it down, but those are all for my Etsy shop. We're going to start at the very top of here. Okay, the very, very top here. Those are, if you've watched some de-stash videos of what I've gotten over the last couple years or so, you'll see that I've been given a lot of Stampin' Up! Stamps that are on the wooden blocks, so I keep them all, and I've got them up here. The white basket has some, this has, and I've labeled them all Stampin' Up! These have Stampin' Up! Stamps, the wooden stamps. And then I have a couple other alpha stamps back here. And then just a few random wooden stamps. And then these are those roller stamps from Stampin' Up! Now I haven't used these. These were given to me, but I'm not sure if the ink cartridges work. but still, even if you needed to roll it on top of an ink pad and then roll it on the paper or whatever, these are really cool. I swear it doesn't look like a lot of them have been used. There's Christmas ones. Looks like there's a lot of Christmas ones. Snowflakes, flowers. Got the roller. I've got 2 different sizes of rollers. Oh, shamrocks and dots. There you go. Birthday balloons. There's just a bunch. Baby. I've got a bunch of them in here and a ton of different ink cartridges. I really need to pull this out and work with it, see if it works. I don't know if the inks work though. I have no idea, and I truly don't even know how to use this. I'll have to play around with it. I've never used that. But that's those, and then I have extra wood mounted stamps up there. Those are the ones that my brother-in-law found at the thrift store for me. So I think what I may do is take the roller ones out and put the other wooden ones in there so it's all in a basket, and maybe get a separate basket for the roller ones. All right, here on this shelf I have a ton of ribbon, and I just have them in these little baskets so it's easy for me to see. I took them all out of that drawer that was on that the brown shelves, and put them this way. That way whenever I'm just looking for something I can flip it up and go, okay, there's a silver one in there. And I've got a little container of little wrapped up ones back there. Just like the way that this is. It's easy to work, easy to find things. Over here, I have my wood veneer storage. I don't have very much of it, so I just keep it here, and then like my little acrylic pieces are in there. Wood veneer storage there. And then I have this basket, which has tissue paper, doilies. Lots of tissue paper apparently. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of tissue paper. There are doilies in here. There. Doilies, tissue papers, some like, what do you call that? Oh, it's escaping me. I can't think of it. And then some mini cupcake holders in here as well. There we go. So this is just kind of my layering box. I like this one. It's kind of a clear with gold stars. I just keep all of that in here because I like to use different tissue papers. That's what it looks like. All right, moving down to the next shelf. It's easier to film these lower ones. I have this. Okay, so this is actually a cigar box display stand that my mom found at a shop. My dad used to smoke cigars a lot, and when he passed away, we all got like different boxes. Well, I got different boxes. I don't know if my sisters got any or not, but I wanted a couple of the cigar boxes, and she asked me if I wanted this, and this flips up. I have it stuck with glue dots right now, so it's not going to flip up, but I had it standing, and so in theory, let's see if it'll work. In theory, the markers are supposed to lean out like that so I can see them. Well, they kept getting knocked over, so I ended up just laying it down, and it's just easy enough for me to go in here and grab the markers. It's easy to see. I like it, and I've got other tools over there. I also have my my Copic marker sheet here, and then my color theory guide here. Just have a tool caddy here with pins. Actually, it's a utensil caddy, but it have pins and scissors and stuff. And back there I have glues, just more adhesives. I have my piercer for my Stampin' Up! Matte paper piercing tool. I like this. But if you don't have that, you can also use the Martha Stewart set that had like the poker tool on the end. There was a set that she sold as well. Okay, over here is the tray, and this goes on top of that box that is beside my workspace. And I just have on here, I used to keep it on top of that box, but I was just taking on and off too much, so I keep these over here. And these are all my little tiny embellishments. Clips, brads, little tiny, my flares also are in here. I don't have very many flare. I need to move these acrylic pieces up to where the wood veneer is, because that's where all those acrylic pieces are. I just got these in that Freckled Fawn kit, so I threw them in here. But I need to move them up with the rest of them. But just my flare basically all is in here, and I don't have very much. This is all I got. That's it. I've got a bunch of paper clips here. different brads and eyelets, flowers, hearts, and googly eyes. I've got a lot of random little bits. A bunch of brads in there. I don't have very many enamel dots because I use the perler beads, but I have pearls in here, a few enamel dots, rhinestones, those little epoxy stickers, just a bunch of different little bits and pieces are in here. Gemstones. Back here it's kind of the same thing. Well, I should say on the side here, I've got a bunch of like flourishes and gemstones that I'll probably cut apart and use individually. And then back here I've got a bunch of brads and buttons, as well as these are like a metal ribbon pieces, and I thought about just cutting them apart and using them individually. So I have those here. Maybe I should just go ahead and cut them apart. It might be easier. And then I have little tiny alphas here. This was a wood veneer alpha, a little foam alpha, a Scrabble set alpha, an acetate alpha. I'll move this over. These two acetate alphas can go in my alpha storage, but those don't fit in my alpha storage. They just get lost, so that's why they're separate. And then just clips and rubber bands here. So that's everything on this shelf. Now these last two shelves, I'm going to show them to you, but they really don't apply much to my scrapbook stuff. This is more what I use for Etsy. I have, I do recipe cards and card sets and stuff like that for my Etsy shop. But I also do have regular, this is where I keep all my extra finished cards that I make. And then I have extra envelopes here and just white envelopes and then extra card bases. Other than that, these two here are for my Etsy shop. Same thing down here. Ooh, about knocked off my lamp again. Down here it's the same thing. These are all for my Etsy shop, but then I keep all my extra packaging and bags and stuff in there. And then these are just my file boxes. I got rid of my filing drawers a long time ago, and I just keep 2 file boxes where I keep everything in there. And down here is just extra shipping boxes, so when I want to ship something, and then I have my extra cutting mat and everything back there in that corner. That is everything. Let me do one overview. Here is my desk. You can see I'm editing part 2 of this. There's my desk, my printer, there's my microphone under here that you can't see, and then my craft room. These shelves are awesome. These are from Ikea, by the way. And I like them because you can adjust them to whatever height you want. You just get the end pieces so you know how tall your shelves will be. And then you get the shelves. I'm standing in the room doing kind of a 180. I'm really sorry if this video has been extremely shaky. I have been trying my best to be as steady as possible. But it's been a little difficult, I'll be honest with you, and this is kind of the reason why I waited on filming this, because it's just not I'm not good at filming stuff without it being on a stand. But anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give, and let me know if you'd like to see something in any more detail. I will be happy to share it with you. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.